Hi, good morning to everyone. First, I would like to congrats all our warriors of the COVID 2019. And so today we'll discuss about the chain of infection. What is a chain of infection? So chain means it is a process. It's a continuous process, right? So chain of infection means there is a process to occur the infection. So before go for the chain of infection, we'll talk about some terminology. Okay, so first we should know that what is a microorganisms. Microorganisms are minute organisms which is are very necessary for our normal body function also, but sometimes what happen, they create the harmful effect to the body, because when they exhausted in our body, so they release some toxins, so that will be able to damage our body tissues. So these are the microorganisms. So we'll see the some keywords. Okay, so what is the infection? Infection is nothing but it is a lodgement and multiplication of microorganisms in our body. Lodgement means settling of the microorganisms in our body, and they multiply themselves and they increase their numbers, which will be damage to our body or causes the infection, right? So next we'll see what is asepsis. So it is the freedom from infection or prevention of the contact with the microbes. Means so it's nothing but the removal of the complete removal of the microorganisms which will be causes the infection. So what is a cross infection? It is a transfer of the new infection from the another host or external environment. Means crossing of infection means from one place to the another place, maybe one host to the another host. It may be human to human, it may be human to, sorry, animal to human, or human to animal. So cross infection means infection is transferred from the one host to the another host, right? So now we'll see about the what is a chain of infection. So chain is nothing but it's a process of infection that begins when an agent leaves its reservoir through portal of exit and is conveyed by mode of the transmission, then enters through an appropriate portal of entry to infect a susceptible host. Means here nothing but a process where the microorganisms leaving their reservoir, means where they are storing, and from there it is entered into the another host where they can able to damage the tissues, and they can survive, that is called as a susceptible host, right? So now we'll see about the cycle of infection. So here we are having the six components in a chain of infection, that is the infects agents, reservoir, portal of exit, mode of transmission, portal of entry, and susceptible host. So these are the major components of the chain of infection. The first one is the infects agents, reservoir, portal of exit, mode of transmission, portal of entry, and susceptible host. So now we will see one by one. So what is the infects agent or a causative organism? So these are the microorganisms that can cause disease such as the bacteria, virus, parasite, fungus, and reasons that our organisms will cause infections vulnerable, that is the ability to multiply and grow, and invasiveness, ability to enter into tissue, pathogenicity, ability to cause a disease. So what are the agents? Agents that are able to damage, harm to the human tissues or human body, they are called as the microorganisms, or you can say causative agents, such as bacteria, virus, parasites, fungus. Okay, so any organism is capable of causing infection if all the links components are present. So it should be have all the components of the cells, right? So here some examples they are given. So bacteria are present inside us, on us and around us in our environment. Okay, so in a day you are contact with a many surfaces, many parts, many objects, many things you are coming into the contact. So do you think that there is no any bacteria or viruses? Yes, there is a bacteria and viruses, but these all are not harmful. Only some are they very harmful which can be damage to our body. Okay, so here there are two types of the bacteria we can see, that is a resident flora and a transient flora. Okay, what is a resident flora? Means a bacteria present inside us help in a digestion of food. Means these are the unharmful our body. So some are the bacteria flora, that is a transient flora. So bacteria which we get from the environment through air, drinking of water, food, dust, clothes, etc. These are the harmful and get activated when we meet the favorable environment. Okay, so these are the very harmful. Okay, so next one, viruses. So like respiratory infections. So at presently we are aware of this COVID virus. Okay, corona virus. So these are mainly affecting the respiratory system, right? So here some examples they are given: respiratory infection like influenza, cold, rhinitis. So just next one is a GI infection like a norovirus, other infection like a HIV, hepatitis. So if you see some of the parasites present in our environment affect the people with the weak immunity system. Example, malaria, tapeworm infections. Then if you, so next one is a reservoir. So we have seen about the agents, example bacteria, viruses and parasites. So now we'll see about the what is the reservoir. So reservoir is nothing but it is the place where the microorganisms resides. Resides means where they can stay, thrives and reproduce, where they can stay and survive and they can reproduce. That is food, water, toilet, sweat, elevators, buttons, human feces, respiratory secretions, etc. These are the reservoirs. So, for example, now COVID, coronavirus. Coronavirus is a reservoir is nothing but the your respiratory secretions like droplets. So here next one is a portal of exit. So what is a portal of exit? How they can exit? It is a place where the microorganisms leaves the reservoir, such as the respiratory tract, that is the nose and mouth, intestinal tract, rectum via stool, urinary tract through urine, and blood, other body fluids. That is a portal of exit. So now mode of transmissions. How the these microorganisms can be transferred from the one host to the another host. Mode of transmission is means that which an organism transfer from one carrier to the another by either direct transmission or indirect transmission. So here contact transmission, that is a direct, indirect. Contact transmission is the most common route of the transmission of organisms in healthcare settings. That is a direct transmission, indirect transmission. So for example here droplet transmissions. So droplets should become in contact with the mucous membrane directly or indirectly through sneezing, coughing, talking, etc. Example of droplet transmissions include influenza, meningitis. At presently we are all are suffering, the whole world is suffering from the droplet transmission, that is a coronavirus. So next one, airborne transmission. Airborne transmission means there are the three common diseases that are transmitted through the airborne route, that is chickenpox, tuberculosis and measles. Vector transmission. Vector transmission means through the vector transmission occurs when the insect or animals transmit the disease to the humans, that is a malaria, dengue. Okay, some of the bacteria or viruses are present in our other animals like insects and animals like buffalo, that is a bovine tuberculosis, we can say. Through the cow milk we can get buffalo. So many organisms which is transmitted from the other animals and the insects, so they call as a vector transmission. So now we'll see the portal of entry, how this entry takes place in our body. So the opening where the infectious disease enter the host body, such as mucous membrane, open wounds, tubes inserted in body cavities like urinary catheters and feeding tubes. Okay, so there are many ways which helps the microorganisms enters into our body, like through the respiratory, then we can call as the urinary catheters, NG tubes, or open wounds, or any surgical procedures. So these all are helping to microorganisms to enter into our body. So next one is the last one is a suspectable host. Who is the suspectable host? It is a person who is the risk at high risk for developing an infection from the disease. Factors include young people and elderly people, chronic diseases such as the diabetes, asthma conditions that weaken the immune system like HIV, certain types of the medications, invasive devices like feeding tubes and monitors. Means suspectable means who is a high risk for the infection, who is the risk for a infection. So every individual will not get the infection, because we are day to day we are facing the many organisms, we are coming in contact into the many microorganisms like bacteria, viruses, but that all are not causing damage. So only the person who is a suspectable means whose immunity is very less in means they are very weak in immunity power, they are not having the proper energy, and they are very their immunity is very weak in sense, so they are the suspectable host. Okay, so this completes the chain of infection. Will continue.